A cheapy gem from the house of CREMO. Is it a Dior clone? Let's talk about it. Hey friends, John here from Proverbs 27:9 Fragrances. And today we're going to be doing a full review on Sandalwood and Suede from the house of CREMO. If you would, go ahead and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. You got those notifications turned on. That way you're notified every time we upload this sweet smelling fragrance related content. All right, so Sandalwood and Suede is the fragrance that we're going to be looking at here. And there's not much information. It's not listed on Fragrantica. I don't think it's on Parfumo. I think I looked in all three base notes, and I don't remember seeing it anywhere. But I'm pretty sure it's like a 21 release maybe. And I had never seen this one before. And I was in TJ Maxx, and they had kind of, our TJ Maxx in Northeast Arkansas where I shop at in Jonesboro is usually pretty pitiful. In fact, all the rack stores around here are pretty pitiful. Every once in a while you can find something decent. But they had a few fragrances in there I'd never seen before. They had some Ronaldo, the soccer player, fragrances in there. And they had a John Varvatos Artisan Pure in there. And a few other things. And they had some CREMO fragrances. And so I saw this one here and thought, that sounds interesting. I'm really into sandalwood fragrances right now. I'm using the sandalwood fragrance oil in my diffuser here at my office. I really like Santa Fe. It's an old school fragrance that's just pure sandalwood. Picked that one up as one of my dad's old fragrances. I got a Molinard fragrance. Santal Insolent. Did a review on that not too long ago. Very nice. Both sandalwood and leather fragrance. But this is not the one. When I bought it, I thought, I bet it smells similar to this. But this is not actually what it smells like, even though by the name you would think maybe that it does, because again, this is a sandalwood and leather fragrance. But the notes, do we need to go over the presentation? I mean, y'all have seen, they have very nice boxes. They're cheap as far as the paper is pretty thin. When you try to open it, a lot of times you'll tear the lid and everything. But, it looks nice. It's got a little French divider there. And then the bottles, I think, are pretty nice, and it's got the embossed glass with CREMO on both sides, the crown. So I think their presentation is really nice for a $20 fragrance. Now, they're eau de cologne concentrations. Actually, no, they're not. That's an eau de toilette. And okay, that makes sense because I have been wearing this for the last couple of days, and it performs pretty good. But let's get into the notes that are listed on the box. You got fig leaf in the top, you got sandalwood in the mid, and you've got suede in the base. And so when I sprayed it, for the first time, and by the way, good atomizers. I think they're getting better. Like, it looks like it's maybe even sort of pressurized. I don't know. Anyways, it's a very decent atomizer for, again, a $20 fragrance. The lids are as super cheap as you can get, but they fit on there real snug. I mean, you don't have to worry about it coming off if you was to pick it up by the lid. The way it opens up, a lot of fig leaf. There is some citrus there. I've tried to pick up what it is. It's very faint. This is not a citrus aromatic or anything. I don't know what it's classified as. I guess it would be a leather fragrance because the leather is predominant throughout the opening and the middle of the fragrance. But the citrus, I think, is probably bergamot, or it may be lime. It's a little tart and it's a little green. Again, it's very subtle. The fig leaf is very prominent. Takes a few minutes, and then the sandalwood starts to come out a little bit. And about the 15-minute mark, you can smell all three of those if you're trying to. If you're trying to pick them out, you can smell the fig. Obviously, it's the most. I mean, I would have named this, fig and suede or something like that, because the fig is the most prominent note. About the 30-minute mark, the suede really takes over and starts singing. And then so really it only has two transitions, for the most part. That little bit of citrus fades off, and the sandalwood comes in, and then it kind of, the suede takes over and is more predominant for a little while. The fig stays the whole fragrance. And then in the final dry down, you're left with that faint fig and sandalwood, okay? Now, projection-wise, I'd say that it's moderate. Performance-wise, I would say that it is moderate to good. I could still smell this in the 4 to 5 hour mark, which for a CREMO eau de cologne, again, it's not an eau de cologne. It's an eau de toilette. So it's decent, but for a cheap fragrance, very good. What is this, 100 ml? Yeah, 100 ml. Again, and now I didn't even pay $20 for it. That's just the retail price on it. I paid $12.99, So, but here's what I wanted to tell you. As soon as I sprayed it and started smelling, I'm like, it reminds me of something. A little bit older school. What is it? And then I realized what it was. It smells like Dune from Dior. In fact, I've got the dry down of Dune here. In fact, they smell really close. Dune features fig leaf. CREMO features fig leaf. Dune features sandalwood. The CREMO fragrance features sandalwood. The one thing that it's mainly different is the suede. There's really no leather that I can detect, and there's no leather in the notes of Dior Dune. But these fragrances are really similar because the fig leaf and the sandalwood are both the two main prominent notes in both fragrances, so it makes them very, very similar. The CREMO fragrance is a little more smooth and spicy. And I know that don't really make sense, but there's a little bit more of a spicy nature to the CREMO one, where Dune is a little more herbaceous and a little more spiky. They perform about the same. I'd say Dune is a little bit better performer, a little bit better projector. But they really do smell very similar. So the question is CREMO Sandalwood and Suede, is it a Dior Dune clone that nobody asked for? Well, I don't think so. I think it's just that the notes that they use being that they're both predominantly sandalwood fragrances that feature fig leaf top notes is what makes them smell so similar. I think also they were going for a similar vibe. You know, Dune is supposed to evoke being on a Mediterranean beach, you know, sand and water and fig leaves and fig trees and the wind blowing, and it's supposed to be this kind of dry, because there's like vetiver in here, and it's just supposed to make you feel like you're in the Mediterranean on like a beach and all that. And I think they were going for a similar vibe with this. It's definitely got that Mediterranean scent profile. Now, neither one of them are aquatic fragrances, so it's not like you're on a yacht, but you've come off the yacht and now you're in a sand hut on the beach, and you're eating figs and dates and nuts and things of that nature, and you're waiting, you know, to get back on your yacht at some point in time. You've got your leather sandals on and just walking around in the nice Mediterranean climate. That's what it evokes to me. So it's amazing. I didn't buy this thinking I was going to be getting a very similar fragrance to here, but I did. So the thing about Dune is it's not a super hugely popular fragrance. It has its followers and its lovers. It's a little harder to find. It's a little more expensive. I think this is a little bit of a more fresher take on Dune. I think this is a little more easy to wear, a little bit more mass appealing, but neither one of these are mass appealing fragrances. This was not made to be some designer mass appealing scent. I mean, this is really kind of a niche type scent. And again, very close to that. So wasn't expecting that. Pleasantly surprised. Best probably $12 fragrance in my collection. So have you smelled it? Do you like Dune? If so, I would suggest finding a bottle of this, spraying it, wearing it. You know, save your sprays of Dune because they are very similar, even though I don't think it's a clone. All right. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. You got the notifications on. That way you're notified every time we upload this sweet smelling fragrance related content. Till we see you down the road, I say God bless. Frag on, frag fan.